right, hi everybody. I'm John
I'm Joni.
for the Human Potential. The Human Potential is why I changed the name. It was Grow, Love, and Expand, a moment of bliss. It's Grow, Love, and Expand was basically the same thing as Human Potential. It's about the understanding of us as people, and the Human Potential is the understanding that basically we are much more than what we originally thought we were, and that I believe the human potential is greater than even people can even fathom or even understand. But if you can tap into it, you'll get an understanding of it, and you'll realize that, okay, wow, okay, so I'm basically not a human being. I am a spiritualist having, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience.
Right.
What'd you say?
I would say.
Right? So that's what we are.
We are.
Whether you want to admit it or not, or understand it at all, or anything like that, right?
Right.
You're a spiritual energy having a human experience.
Right.
So you really, what you see around you is an illusion, right? It's an illusion of frequency, right? You can call it particles, whatever, but it's frequency.
Right.
Right.
When I first heard that, I had a difficult time understanding that because this table seems solid to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
right.
it was difficult to understand that everything carries a frequency or a vibration.
Well, and in all intents and purposes, it is solid. If you were to crack your head on it, it's going to hurt.
Right.
But if you could somehow tune your frequency to that of a table, then you'll pass right through it.
Right.
So people often wonder why, like, somebody could appear out of thin air, or Jesus walking into a room, because the room really isn't there. And once you understand the frequency and the vibration of that energy, you can pass right through it.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same thing with dimensions. People mistake dimensions and dimensional space, and they don't understand that really what it is it's layers. So it's like if you were to look at my hand, right, you see you see multiple fingers, but you're going to see basically one, and then you turn it this way, and then you see, right? So it's like dimension, 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 dimension. They're all existing in this on top of each other, and that's frequencies.
Right.
It's vibration. That's the same thing with, like, someone says, well, how can you be a psychic or an intuitive? Well, one, we're all psychics, we're all intuitive, right? But it's basically you're just dialing into the frequency.
Right. Is your radio turned to that channel?
That's it.
Because where you can hear
let's say you have 97.9 and you're listening to it. Well, 69.9 is still playing.
Right. All the other frequencies still play at the same time.
You're just not hearing it.
Right.
Till you tune into that frequency.
Right.
So when you give somebody a reading, what are you doing? Well, you say, well, I'm giving you a reading. I'm not giving you anything. You're giving yourself the reading. I'm just the radio receiver who tunes into your vibrational frequency. Your higher self uses your spirit guides to talk through. Very rarely do we ever talk to our higher selves, simply because the frequency is so great that it would just blow your mind. It's too powerful. So they use subordinates, go-betweens, right? who choose to be your guides. Family members, people who have deceased. Some you may or may not know.
Right.
And you may have known in another previous lifetime. But they're going to use spirit guides to communicate to us, right? And so when you go see an intuitive, that's basically what an intuitive does. An intuitive is going to tap into your vibrational frequency, right, to give you the information that's for your best and highest good. Now, it all depends on the interpretation too. So you have some that aren't very good. You have some that are really good. It's a matter of
learning to interpret the information.
That and getting rid of your own ego. Like somebody like myself, I don't care about the information. I don't care about the individual at all. I don't care. When someone sits down and I do a reading for them, they want to hear it. They don't want. I don't care. That's their choice. You see what I mean?
Right.
I remove myself from it. And so that's why it's sometimes harsh, because we're going to be completely honest with you. I will tell you that my guides, my higher self and my guides, they've been pretty brutal with me. I mean, but they were right, and I didn't like it. I'd argue with them or whatever, but they turned out they were right, right? And I didn't heed the advice. I didn't heed the whatever it was because I thought it was crap, but yet they were right, and I didn't like the information. And I get people like that all the time.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. So, when you see an intuitive they have to remove themselves from the information completely. And that's one thing that I have the ability to do because I don't care. I remove myself completely from the information because the individual...
You're just providing it.
The individual known as John doesn't care.
Right.
Doesn't care. It wants your best and highest good. I want your best and highest good. But whether you choose that or not, that's up to you. Right? That's not up to me. Same thing with exercising, right? I don't know if exercising... Do you exercise because it's good for you, or do you exercise because you like it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will tell you this, if you exercise because it's good for you, it's probably not going to last.
Probably not.
You'll
do it. You might do it some, but...
I mean, you've heard the old expression, right? Oh, God, you love what you do for work. And then it's not work.
Right.
Right? Well, I don't consider this work. I love what I do, so it's not work.
Do what you love, and you love what you do.
Right.
Right.
How many people go to jobs every day they don't like? Right? And
a lot. Unfortunately.
And they do things, and then they do it for years and years and years, and they're miserable, or it doesn't last. But it's like, what is this to you? Is this a career or is this a job?
Right.
But basically, everything is just frequency, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which leads me to sort of my topic of the day that I originally intended to talk about, and that was my first out-of-body experience. Have you ever had an out-of-body experience?
Yes.
And what was it like?
It was incredible. It was...
Try to be specific.
Well, at first I didn't believe it was happening because it never happened. It really only happened to me one time. And I was awake. It didn't happen during...
What do you mean you were awake?
I mean, I was at work, up moving around, and I went out of my body up above, and I could see everything down below.
Interesting. How did that happen?
I don't know, but I was kind of stressed out at that moment, and I was in the hospital parking lot. And all of a sudden, I was looking down on the parking lot and myself in the parking lot. I don't know.
The stress of the moment, it was too much anxiety. It induced an out-of-body experience. You just said, screw it, lift your body.
Yes.
What do you specifically remember feeling? Anything?
I remember being in awe and saying, what's happening here? And looking down and seeing everything. And it was only, I think, a matter of seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and I was back in my body. As soon as I started to question, what is this? What's happening? Why? What am I seeing? Why is this happening? I kind of went back in, and then I couldn't reproduce it. Like if I tried to do it, I couldn't do it.
You did. It induced that stress again.
Yeah, I don't want that stress again, but yeah.
That was my first out of body experience was lying in bed, actually, in that sort of altered dream state, right? That lucid dream. But I'll tell you, the thing that I found fascinating, I had the same experience. I was taken up and I could see the bed. I could see myself going up through the roof. I saw the outside the house, saw the roof line, and I just kept going up and up and up and up and up into space, And the same thing happened to me is when I had this thought, like, how am I getting, where am I going? How am I getting back? I had doubt enter. Boom, I went right back into my body.
I know.
Immediately. Like, but the thing that was fascinating to me was I had not changed. Like, you think, like, if you go out of your body, there's some, angels singing or some, mystical type, awe feeling, and none of that. I was
still
me. I was the same personality, same everything. Nothing really like other than a body. I mean, I didn't know I didn't have a body. I was the same, felt the same. Personality was the same. Everything was the same. I was
can
just
relate.
floating up in space.
I can relate to that. I didn't think about whether I had a body or not. I just know my vantage point was now.
You couldn't tell me if I had a body or didn't have a body.
Right.
I was the same person.
I know.
Weird.
Isn't that cool?
I don't know if it's cool or not. It just
I
was.
thought it was kind of cool.
And it's just like, yeah, I guess it's cool because I was like nothing. Like I thought some grandiose. If you ever had an out-body experience, you think, oh, you know, angels singing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
None of that. I was me. It was my same personality. Right? Fascinating. So I think it's just, I don't know, I just thought it was interesting. Subsequent, I've had other out-of-body experiences. Quite interesting.
Yeah. I don't think I've had any that I recall. Maybe in the dream state, maybe. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I was dreaming it or if it was truly an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
So I can't differentiate. I only know that it happened to me one time.
I just think it was fascinating because nothing changed. I was my same person, you know, and the doubt crept in, and you know, I didn't see like people say this silver cord. I didn't see any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't see any light. I just saw myself going into space, and it was like I was seeing planets. I could have kept going.
Did you see the Earth like above the
small? Kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Yeah.
So you went far up into the.
Yeah, I think that's what freaked me out. I said, God, I'm going to go up to other planets or something like. And it was just weird. Like I was just out there in space, which makes you think, okay, so there really isn't space, right? There's just frequencies of vibration, I guess. But anyways, it was quite fascinating. So that was kind of my first out-of-body experience. Since then, I've done it several times, and you learn a lot about not so much Earth, but galactic learning. Like I say my lessons here on Earth are pretty much like done. I've learned pretty much, I think, what I could learn. God, these allergies. And now I do more galactic learning, which we'll go into, I think, maybe in the next video. Talk about my extraterrestrial experience. So I'll leave you with that.
Yeah.
Guys, please like, share, subscribe, watch these videos. Let's share them around. Leave some comments about your out-of-body experience and what you had, and let us know. Be curious to.
Yeah, we'd like to know.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's all about the human potential to realize that we are much more than what we originally thought. So thanks for listening, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and be kind to yourself every day.